Now this week we're going to make something nice, light and summery using courgette or zucchini. And let me tell you, if you're not a fan of these, because I know when you cook them they can get soft and watery and it stops a lot of people, me included. But this is different. It is a salad where the courgettes are marinated, they're just par cooked. So you're going to keep that crunchiness, okay, the color and everything that you like about it is going to be laid down in a dish and then drizzle with a specific marinade mainly made of lemon and coriander. There's some other additional secret ingredients I will show you in a bit. Let's get started. Now, this special marinated courgette salad is great. It's simple. First off, you don't need to peel your zucchinis or courgette, and the cooking time is 2 minutes in water, so it's next to nothing. Okay, the rest is just ingredients for the marinade, and it's based on lemon juice, lemon zest, coriander seeds, and then a gastric, which is a mixture of vinegar and sugar, almost like a caramel. We're going to drizzle on top with some pine nuts, with some extra herbs, and maybe a hint of olive oil. So really, as you can see, very, very interesting, even though it's simple. For the tools, I'm going to have a grater for the zesting. I'm going to be using also a mandolin for an even slicing, and then a large dish to accommodate your slices of zucchini or courgette, and that's it. Let's begin. So we need to make our mise en place, and as part of the mise en place, we need to blanch the zucchini slices. That means to par cook them in boiling water. So we start with the water. So I've got the cold water on here. I'm going to put like a tablespoon of salt, high heat, and while we're making the mise en place, we're going to leave this to come to a boil. Use a lid to save some energy. Once the water is on, we can start with the lemon. I've got a beautiful lemon from the neighbor's tree, and they're on holiday, good timing. And we're just gonna zest this and then press the juices. So I've got my plate on here, I've got a zester, and all what we're gonna do is try to zest the equivalent of the whole lemon. Once you're done with the zesting, you're gonna take your lemon and you're gonna squeeze the juice or press the juice. You can use a machine, I'm using just a manual thing. So I'm all done. Let's see what we have. So from my lemon, I've got the juice that I've filtered and I removed the pulp, so it's only the juice, and it has to be a fresh lemon juice. Do not buy these kind of plastic bottles from the shop. You want a fresh lemon. Then we have the zest, and you will not have used a very, very fine grating plate here, because when you do a marinade, you want these pieces of lemon to almost melt on your slices of zucchinis here. You don't want something like really too big, otherwise you're just gonna feel like you're eating pieces of lemon. And the coriander seed is a teaspoon worth. And what I've done, I've taken like a spoon like this and kind of slightly crushed them, bruised them, you know, just to release the flavors, and that's about it. So next on the line is to slice the zucchini / courgette. So you can use a knife, okay, and we want really thin slices. Okay, this is the size. I've already adjusted my mandolin. You can use a knife. The mandolin is kind of easy, especially with a courgette something, and you're gonna go effortlessly and go through. You can do 3 or 4 of these. Okay, if you go on the side, and if you can see, it's gonna be looking something like this. So I'm finished. This is 3 courgettes or zucchini. You see, it's quite a lot already. And if you go to 4 or 5, it's gonna be for a lot of people, because let's face it, you're not gonna have like a bucket full of zucchinis as a starter. Now, little things about the zucchini. You have to wash them very well. I forgot to mention that. Okay, because we're gonna eat them with the skin on. And the reason we're using these very small ones, because the skin is very thin. So again, it's all about the gustative experience when you're gonna be biting into this thing, and for the instant marinade. You know, when it's very thin like this, it's all tender, it's gonna be perfect. But now what we need to do, of course, is to par cook these slices. Look at that, what a timing. I'm just done with the slicing, and look who's ready, the water. So timing here, maximum 2 minutes. You use a timer on here to time everything, and when you're gonna be plunging the slices, the water's gonna stop boiling. It doesn't matter, you still count maximum 2 minutes. I may even do 1 minute because my slices are quite thin. As you can see, this is how thin they are. I wanted to have this. You can have them a little bit thicker, but not too much of a problem. So I'm going to put everything, and as soon as it's in, timer on, and 2 minutes maximum. So once they are done here, we're not going to rinse them in under cold water or anything like that. We're just going to put them through a sieve very quickly, and then pat them dry, and immediately lay down all the slices on our serving dish. That has to be the serving dish that you're going to be using. So you see what I've done here? As soon as there's been, the water's been drained, I put them all flat like this on a tea towel, and immediately while they're still hot, I'm gonna do this kind of rosas in my serving dish. I'm gonna keep on going, so do this while it's hot. Yes, I am finished. What a bit of a race, but it's actually kind of nice, looks a bit like fish scales kind of thing. So you start from the exterior and you can make your way in as you go. And I've got some leftover, if you look at this, I made another plate on there, but we're gonna concentrate with the large one. So this is your serving dish, right? So what we're gonna do here is just do that, already that sprinkle. So this is gonna be for the flavor. This is why I bruise, you see, because we are bruising that stuff. I want the flavors to go in here. We're gonna have then some of that grated zest. Sorry if I don't get the whole plate in focus here, but from here, salt and pepper, so fine salt, and this is the thing is gonna be helping cook the whole thing. A bit of pepper. It's up to you, can use white pepper as well. And then we're gonna start drizzling the lemon juice. Don't pour the whole thing, it has to be nicely spread everywhere, and make sure every slice has got a little bit of the lemon. Worst case, you can do this last minute and press the lemon over, but just like to go by hand like this. Once you're done with the lemon, we're gonna put this in the fridge and we're gonna prepare that last element, which is the gastric, which is a caramel based on vinegar. Now this last part is really the one thing that got me really interested. We're using that gastric in a marinade. So sugar, 30 grams. I'm gonna put this on medium to high heat, and to facilitate the making of a caramel, I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of water. So we're not making here a true caramel because it says as soon as it starts to become a caramel, there's a little bit of color, you don't want something super dark, and then we're gonna add the vinegar. All right, so it says as soon as it starts to caramelize, you can see there's a little bit of color, and immediately vinegar in. Ooh. All right, so now it's good. I had to let it cook for a minute or something to melt the rest of the sugar, but I think we're done. I'm gonna turn the heat off, and it says to pour this hot as is on the zucchinis or courgette. So you want it hot because I think otherwise it's gonna solidify almost like a caramel, and that has to go now in the fridge for at least 2 hours. If there's not enough lemon juice, you can add a little bit. It's been 2 hours. I've taken the zucchinis or the courgette out, and I've used just a small portion because the other plate was absolutely gigantic. I'm gonna keep this for later. And the one thing that's important to know, this is not a starter, okay? This is not something gonna be serving on its own like this. It's a salad. So it's a side. It's something you take a little bit off on a side of lettuce, and you can be serving alongside some maybe cold meats, a piece of fish or something like this. So we need to take this really at face value. I've got some little extra thing that I want to try, but first, let me just going through the basics. So this is it. It's been marinated. I've got some extra bits of the marinade I'm going to put on there. And I want to try this as is. Okay, so let me, like I said, I'm not a super mega fan of zucchinis, but okay. So first off, it's still crunchy. That's a massive bonus. It's actually enjoyable, it's crunchy till the end. Definitely feel the lemon. And that little caramel slash vinegar really brings a nice contrast to the acidity to the whole thing. So that is already very, very interesting. So now let me add, for instance, someone that's gonna say, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, a bit of pepper, maybe a hint more. Now maybe you could do some extra lemon. But what I wanted to try is a hint of oil, because there was no oil. See if that's gonna change anything. Okay, so very quick, I'm gonna grab 1 or 2 of those, mix with the whole thing. Up. Well, okay. I'm not sure if the olive oil really adds something. You're falling back into the classic kind of dressing type of stuff. Don't think that's the intention on here. And the last thing I want to try is just, I want to add some little nuts and something like some mint to add some extra flavor to the mix, just to finish, to see that if you want to customize this and make it your own and add like maybe basil and stuff and things, to see how it's gonna it's holding up. It's holding up, to be honest. It's a bit like gherkins, a bit like these kind of marinated gherkins, sweet and sour gherkins, but with zucchinis. No. No, no. No, the mint, I don't think is necessary. But what I've just had here is a coriander seed. And when you bite into it, that has actually brought a really nice welcome boost of flavor. Now the final verdict, a surprising entry with this marinated zucchini. What I love about it is that they feel really marinated and cooked, and they are crunchy, which is the weakest point of all zucchini. They're always soft and mushy. This is like a gherkin, except that the sweet and sour sauce is kind of softer with a lemon intonation in there, and the coriander. I would crush the coriander maybe a bit more. Pairing, you will pair this with fish, with cold meat, a side of lettuce, but it has to be fridge cold, okay? So absolutely necessary to have these 2 to 3 hours marinating time. Now, if you don't finish the whole thing, put the leftover of these zucchinis in an airtight container, and that can keep up to 48 hours, and the longer you wait, the better it gets. So there's plenty of good things in this recipe. That really kind of surprised me. So if you're like me, you're not a fan of zucchini, give it a shot. Okay, let me know what you thought in the comment section. As for me, I will see you next time on the French Cooking Academy for another video. Take care all. Bye-bye.